Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday sermon. This week, we're going to be blessed by the soul of the Reverend Martin Luther King. He accomplished incredible things during the 1960s and 70s, and he is still trying to influence what takes place for God from the other side. So, Dr. King is standing here. He's waiting to speak. So, let us begin. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to come back and speak. When you're on the other side, it is truly very difficult. It's very difficult to comprehend, and it is very difficult to communicate. Sometimes what we see is very difficult to still believe that it's taking place. Man's inhumanity to man has not changed. When I walked the earth, people of black skin color had many problems. They were still being abused. They were not treated equally with other citizens. Today, there's still great inequalities taking place, not so much with the Black communities. Much has taken place to bring about equality. Today, you're seeing a different type of abuse. The borders have been opened and many people are coming through it, and it's going to add to the problems that the individuals of our country are going to suffer. Many people of black color have been forced to live into the cities. They don't have the abilities to, many don't have the abilities to earn enough income to live in the suburbs, especially with expensive houses. Much has been done through the inflation to make it difficult for people of lower income to earn and to live where they would like to live. Many people in the cities have been abused by their politicians. It's very sad to say that. Many people, and I'm talking about politicians of black colored skin, I'm talking about politicians of white skin. Many politicians, when they get power, only want power. They want wealth. They want to be able to control others. Well, that's not the way the political system's supposed to work. There's supposed to be a great equality. When you return to heaven, you will find that everything is equal. On each realm, everyone is equal. The people that have achieved those realms have worked for it. They've come back, they've studied, they've done many things. But basically, they've served God. There is no greater, shall we say, job in the world than serving God. You see, God watches everything, but he wants the human souls to accomplish it on their own. God has great power. Power beyond your comprehension, my comprehension. Nobody knows just how powerful God is, but I can tell you that he can do many things that you cannot imagine. Your lives are influenced in many ways. God influences your life. Your guides, the angels, they all try to influence your life, but you are the ones that have to make the final decision. You have to decide the path that you are going to follow. You see, it's called free will. Humans have it, animals have it. Maybe humans are more animals than you would like to think. You're destroying each other in wars as we speak. Russia has no conscience. They're trying to destroy a smaller country. They will try to destroy more countries if they're allowed to do it. Think of the story of David and Goliath. You see, monsters have to be destroyed. Now, that's not a Christian way to think of things, because you're supposed to say, turn the other cheek, do what you need to do. Well, if you turn the other cheek and you are dealing with a truly evil person, you will regret it. Evil people can be bullies. They absolutely will try to do what they want. They will not stop at anything. There are people out there that would wipe out entire countries just so they have the power over the debris and rubble that is left. There's no common sense involved. There's very little left. They are so opposed to God's will that when they return, they will immediately be escorted to a level lower than any of the realms of heaven. But before they go, they will extract a terrible toll on the world. When I was alive, I had a dream. I still have it. I still think humans can coexist in love. I still think humans can show a great equality. I still think humans can be among the happiest individuals in the galaxy. But they have to mature, they have to think, they have to do what God tells them to do. You see, it is only through the will of God and his words that humans can truly advance. When I walked the earth, I was sent back with black skin. It was what God wanted, because he knew that I could bring a message that a white person could not speak. You have to live the life of which you speak. All of you out there, especially those of you that are taking time to listen, know God. But there are so many people out there that have no knowledge of God and never will. That's so sad, because God put his spark of his energy in everyone. Today, you must look around and think what you can do to help spread his words. Evil hasn't changed since he walked the earth. When Jesus walked the earth, the Romans exerted their will. If everybody does not wake up, you will see that the politicians will exert their will now. And all of the great civilizations have failed. Greece, Rome, all of them. All of the great civilizations have failed. And why have they failed? Well, right now, it's hard for you to know, because your politicians are trying to take history out of the schools. They're teaching the children terrible things. You actually have schools that are teaching that God does not exist, that there's no way you can prove it. And since you can't prove it, he can't exist. They're too stupid to look around and see all of the miracles. They're too stupid to look in the eyes of a newborn baby and say, how could this happen if there is no God? Let me tell you this. God truly exists. I am in his kingdom. I am in heaven. I am speaking to you from heaven. You are hearing a miracle that only God could have you listen to. Jesus speaks to you through Barry every week. That is an incredible miracle. It's an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to know God. God is very easy to know. You can speak to him through prayer. When you speak to him through prayer, he hears you. And if that prayer can be answered, it will be answered. Many cannot be answered. Many go against your life plan. Many go against the way you should live your life. I'll give you a for instance that does not work, where he cannot answer it. You have lived a life of evil, and you pray to him all of a sudden and say, please forgive me of my sins. It's not going to do that. You are responsible for what you do in your life. No way around it. If you want to be forgiven, don't do anything for which you need to ask for it. It's very simple. If you don't go against his words, you got nothing to be forgiven for. You are responsible for the way you live your life. You can live it following in God's footsteps and his light, or you can live it in darkness. Why people choose to live a life of darkness is far beyond my comprehension. I know well what it is to lead a troubled life. My life was never easy. I did things in my life that I should be forgiven for, but I was responsible when I was judged. Everyone does things for which they think they should ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness is not something that you ask for. Forgiveness is something that you avoid. You avoid having to ask for forgiveness by living a life and following God's words. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What he wants of you is so very simple. He wants you to love. When you look at a person that is different from you, he wants you to see equality. He wants you to know that all human souls are equal. They're equal on earth and they are equal in heaven. Now, your soul spends much more time in heaven than it does on earth. So that should give you incentive to take advantage of the time that you have. I did my best in the time that I had. My life was taken. Evil entered an individual with such hatred that he killed me. Do you think he could ever ask for forgiveness? The answer is no. There is no reason for using violence. Especially, I was doing good. I was helping people. Yes, many people think that I was a rabble rouser, that I was doing things I should never do, that I should have left the old ways of things. I should have not spoken of all the inequalities that were taking place. If I was to return today, I would still talk of inequalities. My life plan would include putting myself in a position that I would still try to help others by speaking of inequalities. There is so much inequality today, and it is growing. Think about the economic inequalities where individuals can be so rich that when the stock market moves, they can make billions of dollars in one day. Then think of the person that's out there trying to make a living, that's in low income housing, is trying to raise a family, is trying to do what's right. He's trying to teach his children of God, and he's doing it all on a mere pittance of what these individuals have available to them. These individuals need to go out and they need to help others. They need to use their money wisely. When you buy a yacht and your seventh mansion, you are not using your money wisely. No one needs that. You can find true happiness making a minimum wage. It's because you are happy in your heart. These people with great income, many of them are not happy. Many of their lives are something that you envy but do not understand. They spoil their children. Their children go out and they buy drugs. They feel that the law does not apply to them because of their great wealth. How many times do you see on social media that an officer pulls over a drunk and the drunk will say, "Oh, I'm your local councilman, you can't arrest me." Even at the lowest level, these people think that they deserve special treatment. Why is it that evil thinks that special treatment is deserved by them? Special treatment should be for people that believe in God and follow his words and help him and do charity, do volunteer work, but you never see those people ask for special treatment. They're trying to help, not take advantage. Each day when you get up, you face opportunity. You can use it to your advantage or you can use it to your detriment. God wants only one thing. He wants you to live in his image. He wants you to do what he did when he walked the earth. And Jesus was God incarnate. When Jesus walks the earth, he lives a human life. He does all of the things that humans do. He sets the perfect example for you to follow. Sadly, many of his words have been altered and his teachings have been complicated. Jesus led a very simple life, and he wants you to do the same. Simply treat others as you want to be treated. What could be more simple than that? When you show evil, you do not show anything that Jesus ever showed in his lifetime. He created miracles. He helped others. He did many things for many people. He changed the lives of billions of people. Imagine, no one ever heard the word Christianity before he walks the earth because it doesn't exist. Jesus creates a religion that lasts for thousands of years and changes the life of billions. You may not be able to do what Jesus did. I'm not expecting that. But you can help individuals. Each individual that you help can go out and help an individual as well. And this goodness, this wonderful feeling expands and builds a foundation. Today, there are people trying to build a foundation of faith and love. They're trying very hard, but those with evil intent are trying very hard to stop them as well. Those people know that if individuals join together in good, in walking the path of our Lord, in trying to emulate what he did, if more and more people do that, evil has no chance. I lived in a time where I fought evil as hard as I could. I tried everything that I could do to bring equality. It still does not exist. Women are still underappreciated. People of different colored skins are still discriminated against. But I know that each of you out there are going to try to do your best. I know that each of you will follow God's words. And I know that each of you are not going to do anything you would not want to have done to yourself. So thank you for allowing me to speak. Hope I haven't bored you. I hope that maybe I have been able to bring you something to think about. So goodbye. I know that there will be a time that Barry invites me back, and I thank him in advance. So good night. God blesses all of you, and farewell. Wow. He hasn't lost it, has he? Okay, next week we'll be back again. We're on all the platforms now: Apple Podcasts, Google, iTunes, Spotify. So look for Sunday Sermon. Please tell your friends about it and help us grow. So we will be back again next week, and I don't know who it's going to be at this point, but you enjoy it. Goodbye.